Hello and welcome to Relatively Crafty, a knitting podcast. I'm your host, Christy. I come to you from the Denver area of Colorado, where I live with my husband, Ron, our two daughters, Tatum and Delaney, our tuxedo kitty, Lilu, and our Podengo puppy, Sophie, right there. Welcome. If you are looking for me on Ravelry, I am Christy-Layl, and on Instagram, I am Christy Layl without the dash. Yeah, this is a knitting podcast. Let's get into it. It's going to be kind of a quick one. I don't have a lot to show, but I have something very special to show. You guys can see it already. I'm wearing it. But before we get into that, I wanted to do the giveaway for the Halloween Progress Keepers that I got from Hey Crafty Creations, which is just, the cutest little Etsy shop that has all these beaded Progress Keepers, and they're Halloween themed, a lot of them, and so I wanted to make sure that I got them out to you guys before Halloween, because today is October 10th, so we're running out of time. I think I said Hey Crafty Creations. I meant to say Hey Country Creations. Sorry about that. Here is her card. So she's on Etsy, and she is also on Instagram. You can get to her shop through Instagram. So here is her information. Hopefully y'all can read that. I will also put it down below. She very generously sent several of her creations that are simply adorable to me to have a giveaway. I posted in my last podcast that all you needed to do was write down a comment talking about your favorite autumn thing, or your favorite thing about autumn, and I got lots of responses. I have 6 different gosh, I can't think of the word. 6 different Progress Keepers to share. So I'm gonna go over them real quick, and I haven't drawn the names yet, so I'm gonna draw them, and I'll put them on the screen, and it'll be a first come, first serve. Each of you can pick one, and until they're all gone. Yeah. So we've got again, we've got Good Boy with a jack-o'-lantern. Love that one. We've got Cactus. We've got Candy Corn. We've got Pineapple. And we've got a paw print. So, as I said, I will put all of the winners' names here. And each of you contact me on Ravelry if you can. If not, go ahead and contact me on Instagram. But I do like Ravelry for keeping everything in one spot. And like I said, first come, first serve. So whoever contacts me first gets their first pick, and so on and so forth. So thank you. So thank you so much, Lisa, for the donation, for the gifts, because I kept some of them as well. In fact, there's one right there. It's still on here because I'll get into that in a second. But it's still on here because I haven't blocked this yet, and that's where I was on the sweater when I podcast last. So anyway, yeah, just get a hold of me, and I'll get those out to you quick, fast, like a bunny rabbit. So then, let's talk about finished objects. I am going to talk about this one because I'm going to have to take it off because it's warm. But I finished my ugly Christmas sweater. Every time that I say, hey, this is my ugly Christmas sweater that I'm working on, the general response is, well, it's not ugly. I have to agree. I think it's adorable. I love it to death. It's exactly what I wanted. If you are new to the podcast or haven't been watching in the past month or so, I have knit, or will have knit, 31 pairs of Christmas socks to wear each day in December. I have 3 pairs left. There's the yarn for them. I will get them done this year. And you know, you only need 60 to 70 grams, depending on the sock, to make a pair of socks, at least for my size feet. And so I had lots of leftover. I decided I was going to kind of hold them together, hold them double, and make myself a scrappy sweater. I'd come up with this decision like over a year ago. And it sat in this container, all of my leftovers for the entire time. And I am a mood knitter, and so I got it in my head that it was time to start that. So started looking for patterns, and couldn't find anything in a DK, which would be what holding 2 strands of fingering double would give me. So I couldn't find anything that matched what I was looking for. I was looking for a grandpa style cardigan with pockets, and I couldn't find a pattern that fit that. I'm sure that I missed several, but at the time I couldn't find one, and so I ended up going up to like a heavy worsted Aran weight, and held the yarn triple. And with that, I found the Tony sweater by Coco Knits, and it happened to work out nicely because I had just gotten the Coco Knits Method sweater workshop book not too long earlier, or not recently, and so I went ahead and thought, well, this will give me an opportunity to learn the Coco Knits method and make this sweater. And so I have taken all of those leftovers and I held them triple, and I finished my sweater. Back up so y'all can see it. I love it, guys. It's perfect. I got the buttons on Etsy. I was looking for... Okay, well, hang on. Before I get into the buttons, let me get into the sleeves. So the sleeves don't match, obviously, because I was holding it triple and I was just using scraps, but that doesn't bother me at all. I went ahead and made the cuffs super long so that when it gets really cold, I can do this, and then I can fold them when it is not that cold. And yeah, they're perfect. The Coco Knits method is a really nice one. It's not a raglan, but kind of a raglan style. I liked how it fit. It's everything that I wanted it to be. The pocket, here, let me take it off. I'm getting hot anyway. So this is the progress keeper that I was mentioning before. This was where I was last time I podcast. So I've knit most of the sweater since I podcast last, and it's not been blocked yet, which needs to happen soon because the bottom is rolling up a bit. Not an issue when I'm wearing it, but when it's sitting by itself, it is. The pockets are perfect. I absolutely love them. The Tony, right there. The Tony pattern gives you a couple of options, and I just kind of opted for the one that was simplest. I think a lot of them called for a like a contrasting colored pocket, and I didn't want that, so I've done my contrasting for the inside of the pocket. This was the other thing, is that I wanted the button band to be knit on as I was going. That was why I was having a problem, because there's lots of grandpa style cardigans out there with pockets, but not all of them have a button band that's knitted along, so I don't have to pick up the stitches. So I went with a garter. You could also do a ribbed button band according to the Tony pattern, and I got these buttons on Etsy. As I said, they were I was looking around for large round Christmas buttons. I didn't find any that were Christmas that were quite right, so I just went ahead and went with red, and I made sure to use green to sew them on. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'll put up some proper pictures on Instagram and probably in my next podcast once I block this. But I wanted to talk about it real quick. I love the mottled effect that I got from holding 3 strands. It was perfect. It turned out exactly what I was hoping. Plus, because I used the clasped weft join, I only had to weave in ends for like the beginning and the end of the sleeves, and for this this collary bit, because you pick up and start again a couple of times. But all of the yarns that I used throughout, I didn't have to weave in any of those ends using the clasped weft join. So it worked out perfectly. So yeah, I'm absolutely in love with it. It's exactly what I wanted. I definitely think that another one of these out of other minis is in order. I was over at my mother's house yesterday, my parents' house, and my mom was like, "Oh, I kind of like that." I was like, "Well, you know what? I can make it. I got plenty of minis to make a dozen of these." So yeah, definitely a success. As soon as I get this to lay down, then it'll be a perfect success. But yeah, super fun. I highly recommend the Cocoa Knits method for sweaters. I didn't check gauge on this. Let me give you just my disclaimer. I didn't check gauge. I didn't do it for a couple of reasons. One, since I was using all different scraps of fingering weight, my gauge wasn't going to be consistent throughout. Some of them were super chunky, fat fingering, and some of it was super skinny fingering. So it was never going to be consistent. Plus, I went kind of on the bigger end of the sizing, knowing that eventually, if it didn't fit yet, it would fit eventually, and the bigger it got, the better it would be. So I lucked out that it fits perfectly, which is nice. And so I can continue to wear it even as I get fitter, because it'll just be that much more cozy and comfy when it's loose and oversized. So yeah, that is AFO, and I am really glad to be done with that, because I need to finish my mom's sweater. My mom actually hasn't been giving me a hard time about it, but my coworkers have. So they're like, "But Christy, what about your mom's sweater? But aren't you supposed to be knitting your mom's sweater? But isn't your mom waiting for that sweater?" So I haven't worked on it at all, basically, since I podcast last. I need to, and that will be the next plan. I have 2 more FOs. They're just socks. But before I get into that, I wanted to say I did not have enough Christmas yarns to finish that sweater. I would not have finished it. I ended up having to contact two dear friends who sent me their Christmas scraps, and that is what made it so that I could finish. So I can't say that that was all leftovers, or that the sweater was solely leftovers from my Christmas socks. There were some others leftovers in there. But because I asked for extras, I still have, it's like 240 grams left, give or take, left over. And I have decided that I'm going to go ahead and combine them to make a hat. Just my basic hat, like the hippo for the holidays that I was making last year, or not last year, but 2019. I'm going to hold it triple and make myself one of those hats. And I have 2 buttons left, so I will incorporate the buttons into the brim probably. And then I will have used up all the Christmas yarn. I did take already out the yarn that I wasn't going to need for the socks out of those 3 skeins. So like that will have used up all of the yarn, and that just makes my little OCD heart happy to be able to use it all up. So so that is the plan, and I'm not worried about starting that with Mom's thingy, Mom's sweater that needs to be going, because a hat works up really quick and I can just knit it as my work knitting instead of a sock. So speaking of socks, let's get into the other 2 FOs that I have. I have this pair of Tabby Tug Socks, which is a pattern by Mindy Asplin. This yarn is Giddy Yarns in something. The link will be down below. Rather, you can get to all of my projects by looking on my project pages on Ravelry. I'm very anal about making sure that there's a project page up for each project that I make. But basically, this was a colorway that came out of an accident, so it's not repeatable. She had tried to do something with a colorway and it didn't work out so well, and so she overdyed it, and this is the result. So it's not like you can get this colorway again, even if I could remember the name. But I do really like these. They've actually been sitting here for a couple of weeks now, so it's time to get them into rotation. And then another reason why I wanted to podcast sooner rather than later, is that I finished a pair of Halloween socks, and I need to have them podcasted about before I can wear them, and Halloween's coming up. I mean, I still have 20 days, but still. Here they are. Aren't those great? This yarn is Chasing Rabbits in the Colorful October colorway, which is my local yarn store, which is Colorful Yarns in Centennial, commissions Chasing Rabbits to, that's a good representation of the color, to do a color of the month. They do that. They used to do it like every single month in 2019 and 2020. I think this is from 2019. I don't know if they're doing it every month now, but I do like how these turned out, and I love that my gauge, like I'm a pretty consistent knitter, I think, but when I get to this, I realize that maybe I'm not as consistent as I thought, because the pooling is different on each sock, but that doesn't bother me. I think it's adorable that way, and so I'm happy with it. Oh, I've done these with my normal sock recipe, a Turkish toe cast on, toe up. This is a Fish Lips Kiss Heel 1x1 ribbing with Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off. And that's all my FOs. And I only have one active whip right now because I just finished my Christmas sweater yesterday. And I'm not bringing up my mom's sweater because, or not showing my mom's sweater because I haven't done anything on it since last podcast and it's downstairs. But I do have another pair of October socks in the works, or not October, but autumn socks in the works, and that is this. This I am doing with my my stripy sock recipe. So it's a Turkish toe cast on toe up, and then I'm putting in an afterthought heel right there. So I'm about 2/3 of the way done with the body of this sock. And then I will put in the heel. This yarn is Knitterly Things. She's one of my favorite stripy dyers. This, I don't know, it's from 2019. Colorway is called Sleeping Pumpkin Patch. And I love it. Look at how cool those autumn colors are. So yeah, it's a stripy and a speckle, which is perfect. And that's basically what I've been taking to work. So I don't get a whole lot of work done on it each day, but look at my owls in costumes bags. I got this from the Woolly Elephant. A mother and daughter team. And this was from their Etsy shop. So, okay, that's it. That's all the things that I have been working on or will be working on or are working on. I do have a couple of things that have come in the mail that I wanted to show you. One, I got the first of, don't judge me, 3 Advents that I purchased for Christmas, Advent calendars. This one is a stitch marker Advent calendar from Firefly, fireflyNotesOnline.com. So it's, yeah, Firefly Notes. It is a stitch marker Advent calendar, and it's Woody Animals, I think, is the plan. I love the fact that on the back she's got the history of the Advent calendar. But they're all woodland creatures in here, so I'm really excited about that. Obviously, I won't be able to open it until December 1st, but it's waiting for me. I did order 2 other yarn Advent calendars. One is a 25-day, and then one is a 13-day or 12-day. And then I also ordered a Halloween Advent calendar that's a 13-day, and it is en route, but I didn't realize that it was coming from the UK, so I don't know if it's going to make it in time for me to open it. The last 13 days of the month, we'll have to see. Right now it just says that it's left the UK and it's on its way, but I don't know where in the ocean it is right now. I also got some more Halloween yarn. This is from Mustache Yarns. I got her Halloween kit, I guess. It's got, these are all halvesies, so they're all 50-gram skeins. This is Goosebumps. This one is Jack-o'-lantern. This one is Purple Potion. This one is Strange Brew. This one is Cauldron. And this one is Night Owl. And then there's a little 20-gram Ghosted in there. You got this one for free if you got all of these. Not sure yet what I'm going to make with it. I love them all together. So I'm still kind of thinking about it. It may be something that gets knit next year. Probably gonna get knit next year. But sorry for the glare. I don't want to take it out of the bag. But yeah, they all work so well together. And that's not the only thing I got from Mustache. I also picked up this. This is colorway is called Spooky. and this is one of her perfect match pairs. So there are two 50-gram skeins in here. It's a striper, and they're set so that they start and end at the exact same spot, which makes it easier to make matchy socks. So these will probably be my Halloween socks for next year as well. And that is it. There is no more. Yeah, this is going to be a quick one. As I said, I haven't even started editing yet, and I'm still under a half an hour. But I did want to show you guys those things and do the giveaway and whatnot. So I have accomplished all of that. It's Sunday. I have all of my getting ready for work things to do. I do meal prep and stuff like that on Sundays, so I have to go to the grocery store and I have to get all that stuff done. Thankfully, I did all the dishes, not the dishes, but the laundry yesterday, so present Christy is very thankful that past Christy thought about future Christy, because if I had to do the laundry too, it would be bad. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and happy knitting. Bye.